Shalom, family. Good to see everybody here. Well, I know when Donald Trump took office, one thing he said the prices would drop as soon as he took office. That never happened. He said the price of eggs would go down. That didn't happen. And gas, well, no, because a lot of people are complaining about the prices. And the problem is the salaries have not kept up with the cost of living. And that has been a huge problem for a lot of people. They get up and go to work, but they're just not earning enough. And these places are not required to give you a living wage, which I think is wrong. I think it should have always been that way. You should get a living wage, something you can live on, not. I don't believe there should ever be working poor. That does not make any sense. Nobody should be a working poor person. Only in America, right? So let me share my screen. Okay, please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Okay, thank you.
$98 fucking dollars to fill up the tank today. $98 fucking dollars. $98 fucking dollars. I have to decide between buying gas or buying food. And guess who wins? Because I have to get to the job that I need to fucking buy anything at all. That doesn't pay me enough. And people want to donate $1,000 to fucking cats. 98 goddamn dollars at Costco to fill up my tank. $98. $5.50 a tank. $5.50 a gallon at Costco. $5.50 a gallon at Costco. This is the work of the fucking religious right. Listen to Robert Reich, who clearly who gives us all of the evidence about how our poverty is a choice that our government made for us. A CEO is not worth 351 times what I get paid. Ever. Fuck you, religious right, who are doing this and have been doing this to us. Fuck you, profiteering companies. Fuck you, billionaires, stealing us, breaking our backs, stealing from us, profiteering off of us. Let me repeat, I have to decide between buying food or gas. Guess which one wins?
Increase in gasoline prices that we've seen here in South Florida over the last week. I've seen some stations where the gasoline prices went up 90 cents a gallon. 90 cents a gallon. One of my favorite stations, I won't mention the brand since we're on TikTok, but it went from $2.79 to $3.69. And I took another photo of another station where I was showing gas prices even higher. We can all thank Donald Trump for this increase in gas prices due to his tariffs and due to his programs impacting business and industry and the rest of us as consumers here in the United States. Campaigned on lowering inflation, lowering prices, and Donald Trump, you've done nothing but cause prices to go higher and higher with your policies on tariffs and on business, which are only hurting the American people. You told us you were going to fight to lower prices, and in turn, you've done just the opposite. Everything you've done is the opposite of what you told us you would do. Complete opposite. You can see from the photo that I've attached that the cash price is $3.89 and credit is $3.99. This is insane in South Florida. Absolutely insane. What are the gas prices?
Man, if you thought California gas prices couldn't get any worse, wait till you hear what Gavin Newsom and his Democrats just did. The California Senate just rejected a bill that could have saved you up to 65 cents per gallon at the pump. Yeah, you heard that correctly. A Republican senator tried to stop a climate regulation that experts warned would spike gas prices, and every single Democrat voted against it. Every single one. Now they're claiming it only raises prices 5 to 8 cents. Really? When was the last time Sacramento underestimated the cost of any regulation? These are the same people who say they're helping the working class while you're paying $6 or more for a gallon of gas. They had a chance to stand with struggling Californians, moms, dads, delivery drivers, small business owners, and instead they chose climate talking points over your bank account. This isn't leadership. This is ideology at the expense of the people. And unless something changes before July 1st, you're about to watch your gas prices skyrocket again. What do you think about this? Let me know, folks. It's good to see you. Appreciate you.
What is up? This is your LA in a minute. And here we go again with gas prices. Once again, Los Angeles has the highest gas prices of any city in the United States, and California has the highest gas prices of any state. So why is Los Angeles and California always at the top of the list of the highest gas prices? You're literally not going to believe the answer. Let's get into it. So gas prices in California have increased 54 of the last 59 days, with the average price in the state being $5.68 and the average price in Los Angeles being $5.74 per gallon. Wow. Meanwhile, the price a gallon nationally is $3.88 per gallon, according to AAA. So keep in mind that Californians consume 33 million gallons of gas per day, or almost 10% of the entire total of the United States. That's a pretty shocking number, but it doesn't explain why Californians are paying 50% more, or $2 more per gallon than the national average. So it's easy to point a finger at the taxes imposed on a gallon of gas here in California. State, federal, local. Californians pay $1.30 per gallon average just in taxes. However, Pennsylvania actually pays more taxes per gallon of gas than California, and Washington and a handful of other states are right up there with California as far as how much taxes they pay. So taxes alone don't explain why California has the highest gas prices in the nation. And a special note is that California has the most cars of any state in the United States, and that tax revenue is important for the infrastructure for those cars. However, those cars produce a ton of smog, and that smog is actually another reason why Californians pay more per gallon of gas. That smog means California refineries must produce a cleaner burning and more expensive form of gasoline for consumers at the pump. These regulations began being implemented in 1992 when California law mandated that refineries produce a unique blend of gas that produces less pollution. The result is most of the crude oil that needs to be refined into gasoline is done so in state, like at the Chevron El Segundo refinery. But the thing is, refineries go offline, and if even one refinery gets shut down, prices go up. It's important to note that California is still one of the largest oil-producing states in the U.S., over 460,000 barrels per day. So why the cost is so high when we make all of it right here could be a little mystifying. But get this, California exports a significant portion of that oil and then imports different oil from far-flung places such as Ecuador and Saudi Arabia. In fact, until recently, Russia used to be a main supplier of oil to California, sending the state over 100,000 barrels per day. But that came to a screeching halt when the United States banned the import of Russian oil after they invaded Ukraine. Thus, the majority of California's gasoline is actually made overseas and shipped to Southern California, which is very expensive. Lastly, keep in mind in 2022, California mandated that by 2035, 100% of the light trucks and cars sold in California will need to be zero-emission vehicles. What that does is disincentivize local producers, refineries, and oil companies to help solve the pricing conundrum. And we're left with more prices like this. So look, you're paying the highest prices in the entire country when you're buying gas in Los Angeles and California. But at least now you know the reasons why. All right, LA, it's been a minute.
Trump supporter from Indianapolis here, and I just want to say that our gas prices are not down. They are higher. Comment and tell me where you're from and tell me if your gas prices are higher or lower. I'm tired of the lies.
This is a PSA for my fellow Californians. Gas prices are going up. So let's get into it. But from in my car because it's kind of hot outside. Maybe I'm wasting gas though. So what we know for sure is that your gas for sure is going up at least 2 cents a gallon. And that's from the state gas tax. It was enacted in 2017, and that income goes to road repairs. So now the gas tax is going from 59.6 cents to 61.2 cents a gallon. And that started July 1st. The other increase is coming from the low carbon fuel standard. And that requires the intensity of carbon in gas to go down every year in California. The goal is to have cleaner fuel and cleaner transportation, but the cost oftentimes falls on you, the consumer. Researchers at UC Davis estimate that this new standard will cost you between 5 to 8 cents more a gallon, again, as of July 1st. And this is California compared to the national prices. Today, yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, we're always higher. What do you think of the gas tax? What do you think of the fuel standards? How is this impacting you?
I'm at the grocery store and these prices are crazy. $10.79 for 8 cones, $6.99, $4, $5. What gets me is these Snicker bars, $6.09, and there's 6 in a pack. Garlic bread is $4, $5, $5. Look at this for $6.59. Being that it's the store brand, it should be cheaper. And then we got the bougie Bluebell for $10. This is crazy. So you want to feed your kids some pancakes, $3 and $4 for a box. And sausage biscuits are $8. It's ridiculous. You cannot feed people one meal. So on average, I think everything is like $5. So if you are hot this summer, these popsicles are going to be expensive. So I don't know about you, but I need a second income to buy groceries. So if you want to make some extra money, comment the word ready, and I would love to get you started.
I'm sitting in my car outside of Winn-Dixie, see if I can muster up the strength to walk in and do just a little food shopping. I know when I get to the meat aisle, I'm going to have to be strong and just try to push my way through it. Next to it is seafood. I try to turn my eye so I don't see the price of shrimp anymore. I really think that the antacid aisle should be right next to the meat and the seafood aisle, because once you get past the two of them, your stomach is a little turned. So I'm going to see the best prices I can get. I might be turning vegetarian because being a carnivore is no longer working for me. I made it into the lot past the gas station where the prices have gone up since last night when I passed it on my way home. This is getting to be crazy. The anxiety that I feel must be the anxiety that almost everybody else feels. We really need to be able to go into a food market like we did years ago, happy, smiling. What were we going to buy? Now it's like, oh my God, what can I afford to buy?
$28 for oxtail, and they only give you 3 pieces and a bone. At this point, I pay rent on a pot. Yo, the prices of oxtail has gone crazy. Like, I don't understand what is happening at this point. It's like they don't even want you to buy oxtail when you walk in there. It's like they want to rent you the oxtail, you eat it, and then give it back to them so that way they can sell it to the next person. Because what is happening? Like, we're almost paying $30 for a plate of oxtail. Like, it's these oxtail empanadas, oxtail tacos, oxtail whatever. You feel me? It's like they're messing up the market. I feel like the Bitcoin wave is gone. We need to start investing into oxtail at this point.
Y'all, I just went grocery shopping and I'm absolutely mind blown as to why things are so fucking expensive. I went to Aldi first because that's where we get majority of our stuff, and I got like 80% of our list at Aldi. Went over to Giant and got like the remaining odds and end things, right? The only things that I got extra was toothpaste, razors, and coffee creamer. Tell me why at Aldi I spent $150. Cool, love that for us. At Giant, for the odds and end things and 3 extra things, I spent $130. Now, mind you, when we do our grocery list, it's for 2 full weeks of dinners, lunches, breakfast, snacks, and everything in between. So spending $150 at Aldi was fantastic for us. For 2 fucking weeks, love that. If I would have done all of our list at Giant, that shit would have been above $400, if not more. I am mind blown at fucking grocery prices now. It's absolutely disgusting, and I don't know how anybody on a one income household can fucking afford actual good groceries. We have a 2 income household, and we're still like, what the fuck is happening with these fucking grocery prices? And as you can see, I'm in the McDonald's line because my daughter is being a toddler today and will not eat anything, but she agreed to eat McDonald's, so my ass went to McDonald's. We're choosing our battles today.
Y'all, this is only going to get worse. You know, we don't know what's going to happen because Donald Trump is back on the tariff thing again, and he's hitting everybody with 10% more in tariffs. He is hitting the BRIC nations because he's mad over what they're doing. So he's hitting each one that's part of BRICS with more tariffs. And right now, Putin and Donald Trump have pretty much fallen out. So Donald Trump is threatening to put tariffs on Russia now. And he gave them an ultimatum: if they don't agree to come to the table with Ukraine, he was going to hit them with severe tariffs. And as long as he is going tariff crazy up in that White House, prices are not coming down in America, y'all. It's not going to come down because the cost of the tariffs are going to be on the American citizens. And this man he won't stop doing tariffs. It's he just won't stop doing it. So we're not going to stop paying higher prices because of that. So if people are looking for lower prices, I'm afraid you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it anywhere. Mm-mm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, and that's all he's been running around saying over the last week, how he's gonna hit more countries with tariffs. So it looks bleak as far as price reduction. I don't think the prices can be reduced at this point. And who's going to be willing to do it? We already know Donald Trump is, and although he did campaign that he was going to drive prices down, and he never did since he's been in office. Mhm. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for any kind of supplies out here, it's crazy. Even the stuff from my hair products, the bottles, it seems like every 2, 3 days they're going up. And I'm like, why am I paying all this for bottles, empty bottles? Come on, man. But yeah, they're still raising the prices on my supplies. I've already raised them on my hair site. I don't want to raise them again. So I've been holding out, but it's ridiculous what's going on out here. It's so much price gouging. It ain't even funny. And it's not like you're paying more and you're getting more. You're paying more and you're either getting the same amount or getting less, which is absolutely outrageous. Hmm. Yeah, right by me is a church, and every Wednesday they give out food to people that need it. Now, they've been doing this for several years, and people would go over there and you would see them walking out with food. I mean, now, y'all, I kid you not, maybe one day I'm going to film it so you can see it with my cell phone. The line now goes down the road. So many people get in the line for food, it goes all the way down the road. And it seems like it gets longer and longer every single week. I mean, that sucker is about to wrap around the corner. It's so long. And I just look and I said, it just goes to show you how many people are struggling out here. And that church given, I know another church that gives away food, and usually what they do, they because I knew someone that volunteered over there. They said they give you a whole chicken, a pack of hot dogs, and a variety of different canned foods, canned vegetables and fruits. And people go over there and just rack up. And I knew this one woman, she was a single mother. She said she hit up every single food bank until she had enough food to feed her children. So there were several of them in the area, and she would go up and do her rounds at each one until she had so much food she could feed her children. That's what a lot of people are doing now, and it's sad. It's sad because it's becoming more and more people. Yeah, people wanna know why they got a lot of people got halfway decent salaries, and they're still having trouble making it out here because of rent. You know how rent, they were really going crazy gouging the rent during the lockdown, and the rent is still sky high. That's not coming down. Housing is almost impossible to get out here. Even if you wanted to buy a house, you're going to be shelling out probably triple the amount of money for that same house than what you would have paid like 5, 10 years ago for a house that you want. I mean, that the prices are ridiculous. It is seriously hard to make it. And now, there are also stories about these young people. They can't even leave home because if they leave home, they can't afford the rent that they're charging at these, apartment buildings. They can't afford it. So many of them are living at home now because they can't be on their own. They're not making enough money. One bedroom, one bathroom, $2,300? What the hell? PM, are you serious? 2,300 for a one bedroom, one bathroom? Damn, that's crazy. And don't have a pet because they're going to charge you more if you got a pet. That is outrageous. Well, yeah, Christopher Clipper, thank you for posting that. There are food banks at university. Yes. Do you know they said more and more college students that live in dormitories are getting SNAP? The students are getting on SNAP because, a lot of them are just going to college and some are working while they go to college and some are not. So, what they're doing is, as soon as they have to go and stay in the dorms, they're also going down to the Department of Human Services. And they said a lot of students around this country that live in dormitories are now on SNAP just so they can have food, be able to get food for themselves. Yeah. We got a couple of food banks around here. One of them got robbed. I think I did a video on that. Somebody backed up a big van and went to this local food bank and they cleaned it out. Somebody just went up there and stole all the food out of the food bank. But, people are desperate. They are very desperate out here. Mhm. I mean, yeah, it's crazy out here. So I can understand what a lot of these folks are saying. Okay, let's see. All right. PM, thank you for the super chat. You said B1 and Shalom family. The Most High is coming back and is clearing the way for his return. Keep up the great work, sister. Thank you. And thank you for your support for my channel. Mhm. Yeah, well, there's a lot of Americans that are leaving the country, and they said that number has increased over the years, especially, between 2024 and 2025. They said the number of Americans leaving this country has skyrocketed, and I believe that. I believe it. And plus people are getting upset that they won't help the American people, but you got states just like Karen Bass where the governor and the mayors are giving away all kinds of money to the immigrants, but won't give one dime to help the American people out here. Mhm. All right, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here, and be on the lookout for my videos and live streams for tomorrow. Shalom, family.